Right, Joe, just been speaking to Lofty, and the overriding message to me was we've got a good bunch of lads here, and I guess we've got to not lose sight of that fact, and we've got to just keep moving the club forward, haven't we?
Yeah, it's tough at the minute when you don't win games. Obviously, everybody gets down and frustrated. But the lads have shown in the past. When we've had little wobbles, they've bounced back from it. And we always knew newly promoted team there was going to be ups and downs. We felt we'd overcome them after the slow start we'd had. But again, the last few weeks have certainly been a bit of a reality check. We were getting into some kind of rarefied positions in the table and. I think certainly the last 3 league games have really brought us, back down to earth, and we've got to get ourselves back in the win column as soon as we can.
I'd like to say a few disappointing results, but have you seen anything out there this week in training that's filled you with hope?
Yeah, look, we're just trying to simplify the game for the lads pretty much. The last few games we've had a lot of possession without the purchase and the purpose that you would look for. So, you got to be mindful, certainly when you're coaching a young group, that every word that you utter, like, they take absolutely literally. We've built in the last few weeks lots of build up stuff into possessional phases, and because we haven't done the work on the final bit, the lads just get obsessed with that. And as I said, they kept the ball really, really well, but we didn't do anything with it in the last 3 games. And for us, we're not just going to go and launch the ball and boot it from front to back, because it doesn't really suit the way we want to play and how we want to control games. But also, we've got to be a lot less passive and not playing in front of teams as much as we have done, certainly in the last 3 league games.
How have the group that's still here, how have they reacted to 5 leaving, 5 coming in?
It's been tough, I think, for them. You want to come in and hit the ground running, don't you? You want to come into a side, or certainly it's a lot easier if you come in on loan, or you come in as a signing in January and the team's already, in a good spell and picking up results. So obviously, if you're coming in and it's in the midst of a couple of defeats, naturally you can get a bit low. You can get a bit low in confidence, and it's, as I say, it's been tough for the new lads. It really has, because they haven't had a win to celebrate, and that feel-good factor that everybody in football is striving for. But on the other side of that, it's an exciting junction, because you're building a new group and a new team again. There's as I say, 5 out, 5 in. We feel like we've lost probably four lads who wasn't going to push for starting jerseys, and we've gained new fresh impetus and new players to the group who can push for starting jerseys and jostle for competition. So it's tough at the minute, as I say, because we're not winning, but also, from our perspective, we've got to knit these lads together as quick as we can. Obviously, that's accelerated by positive results and positive performances.
Yeah, we don't want to dwell on the past, but there's been results in games that on paper would have been looking to take points from, and we haven't, and we've got a tougher looking fixture list coming up. But I guess you'd say, well, look what Everton did against Arsenal.
I wasn't going to say that, no, you've just said that, but mainly because the Premier League's a completely different entity. Look, at our level, anyone can beat anybody. That's the thing, with the greatest respect to the level. There's not much between the teams. As you go up the pyramid, there starts to become a huge separation based on the finance between the top level teams in the division and the teams in the middle and bottom. At our level, yet there is a bit of a financial discrepancy in terms of there is a few kind of big budgets in our division, but on the whole there's still about 18 of us quite closely matched. And I think that every time you look at our league results on a Sunday morning, you see that there's a lot of results you don't expect, and as I say, every team in the division carries a threat. As Ipswich go to Cambridge last time out, everyone's thinking that's a shoo-in for Ipswich. Find it really difficult, to break them down, and Cambridge managed to get a draw. Everyone at the bottom has beaten us in recent weeks, so the bottom group has kind of started to win games now, which you always expect. They start to fight for their lives. They realise what's at stake, and sometimes change of personnel or change of coach or backroom staff can give them an impetus. And in the midst of that, as I say, everybody, I believe, at this level can beat everybody. So, you look at the fixture list now, And when you're losing in football, you can't see where your next win comes from. I was like that whenever I played. When you've lost 2 or 3 on the spin, every game seems a lot more difficult than what it does when you've won 2 or 3 on the spin. Every game seems winnable. And as I say, we were coming in with that confidence of winning a few, and okay, we've got a few at the bottom kind of group to play. And as I say, we've been humbled by that and realised, the work we've got to do every single moment of every game to get anything out of it. And as I say, for us, Saturday, Lincoln beating us 6-3 at our place early on in the season, one last time out, they'll be licking the chops playing us. And we've got to go and, grind the results out and grind a good performance out.
And just finally looking at some possible team selection without giving it all away, obviously Bogard have a nice little cameo at the weekend. Callum MacDonald wasn't involved at either of those likely to be in contention?
Yeah, look, we'll assess the group tomorrow, kind of see where the bodies are after today's training. We had a few different looks today to see what we would go with in the game Saturday, and a lot of people have repped through. Obviously, the lads you've mentioned, certainly the newer lads, we've got to get them up to speed. And again, for us, it'll be about picking the team that we feel gives us the best opportunity to start the game really, really well at Lincoln. And, obviously, the lads that come into that, kind of newer lads, as I say, Callum not being part of it, we've got to, get them up to speed as quick as we can, because they're not coming into a winning side. They're coming into a side that has lost a little bit of confidence and has lost its last 3 league games. So, it would be a baptism of fire, I think, to throw either of them boys in from the start Saturday. But also, they've had a good training day today, and that'll go a long way towards staking the claim for a starting position.